Ready? Black cherry, white claw, tall boy. We got the sweet 20 ounce over here.
I can't visualize the shape off the top of my gray matter, but the stick, as you can guess, I mean, if you guys follow any of my artwork, you know that's going to be a bloody motherfucking stick, right, guys? And people did seem to respond to the torn cape version of this versus the non-torn cape version. You know, like it, you know, and we can thank the AKA Pad Army for that. Thank you guys, love you. So that's a little bit of the thought process, and this is why, you know, we don't really abandon ideas. Like, you know, we do challenge ourselves throughout the entire process. Look, it's a journey, and boy, is it competitive. Like no joke. The you know, like, look, you need subs for growth, and like, boy, does it breed jealousy though, because they're, you know, I get so jealous and I get so angry at people that have more followers than me. Consume alcohol today, and I had about 7 drinks. This is my third. This is my third White Claw already.
Are you ready for the eclectic one? AKA Pad is here.
AKA Padders, we're live. Let's get that night going. That late night draw and claw. The 11 o'clock time frame best suits my mental state. It does. But hey, got a box of claws here, boys and girls. look how beautiful that is. And here we go. Ready? We have the original, right? The original flavor. This is what the boys like. This is what the babes like. This is what started everything. This is your zero, your 0.0 in the White Claw game. The ruby grapefruit, often imitated but never duplicated. I need one of these. I also have some green tea and honey, just because, man, another long freaking day. That's why these 11 o'clock time frames work the best. But let's get this box out of here so I can be an alcoholic with all of you, all my AKA Padders. There's so much cooking right now. I don't even know where to start. Well, you guys know, on Etsy right now, just search Uzi Susie, and you can get an Uzi Susie package. This is my underground hardcore comic, only on Etsy right now. Soon to be available through akapad.com. Speaking of akapad.com, sign up, get yourself some free trading cards. These trading cards come stamped. They come with a Wolfpack label. Nice thank you message on the back. They come in top loaders. Get yourself some Wolfpack trading cards. Sign up is right there. So, oh my God. So today, dealing with work calls, had a lot of people on speakerphone, but I was able, let's just switch it up here, right? This is the one we like. I think we got some AKA patterns. What is happening? Tawan Josh. Cheers, buddy. But wait. I can't cheers to green tea. I got cheers to you with the White Claw. Yeah, so a little bit of a rundown. So this Jacktober sketchbook, right? Roughly what can we say? An hour a page. Okay, so it's 40 plus hours of work right here. Okay. Not including the level of research. Let me just kind of, we'll just take me out of it real quick. So not including the research, because I did a lot of references in here. See, like we have a couple different interpretations of Jack Kirby along the way, but I wanted to do something different with this sketchbook. I wanted to break a little bit of that third wall and kind of go into the lore of Jack Kirby. You know, like here we have Jack Kirby like drawing at his production table. Yeah, I always do like a table of contents, but it's like Jack Kirby and I we're just having a conversation here. So there's just a lot of time, and then we have all of our insert pages, which tell us the day of the prompt, what the prompt is, and the first appearance of the prompt character. But then I started doing these floating heads. And I just wanted the floating heads to kind of say something funny, ironic, or silly. But I finished this today. Here's the end, right? We get to the Guardian from the Newsboy Legion. We have Monster. We have Orgo. And we have almost like an anime Jack Kirby. I just wanted to do as many different interpretations of Jack Kirby within the sketchbook. But then we have the Silver Surfer like closing it out. You know, then we have like the King is here on the back. So like I put my intention with the sketchbooks is always to present them as if they're printed, as if they're a complete. What we got here? What's with the cowboy hat? The cowboy hat is part of the rodeo, because we're in the rodeo of life, the drawing life, and sometimes you gotta corral the cattle. I don't know. I like cowboy hats. This is the only time I get to wear them is when I live stream. So don't hate me for it, Jake. Jake, I want my snail. Hopefully that's the right Jake. I'm pretty sure it is. Jake, give me my snail. But no, so we're done this, but Tom Sicoli, if I can say his name, Sicoli, he's the one that created Jacktober. So if you go back a couple streams ago, I was already starting because I didn't think he was doing one. I started a Jacktober 2020 sketchbook to replace what I didn't think was coming from the 2021. So I already got like a couple days into this. So I thought I would just like reopen this back up as a warm up. We have Sleeper. I can finish off some of the X-Men, but I got like the prompts right here for 2020. I might as well complete this one too because I really want to do some good work with the paper. I love this paper. I love using dark pencil, HB to 4B pencils. And then we also have this, my ink. So for 5 straight years, I've been doing Inktober. This one is my Clive Barker theme. And you know what, to be honest to God, what slowed me down on this one? Are we not in focus? Get in focus. What really slowed me down on this sketchbook was just getting into the mindset of what I think Clyde Barker will draw, and then being able to kind of draw things in his style using really cheap paper. This newsprint, like you guys can see, it just bleeds. Okay, but to really start using that into like my advantage almost. And I went ahead, I sketched out the first 16 days. So I really have to kind of commit to both of these in this coming month. I wanted to start a new vanity sketchbook challenge, which I'll be announcing very soon. That does involve World Wrestling Entertainment characters, which I just was for Halloween. And then coming up on, guys, don't forget, coming up on Thursday, we do Turtle Soup Thursdays. So I take these and I draw turtles on them. All right, we have Joe Eyeball. Well, here we go. Super Shredder. So we do these on Thursdays. I have 2 of them planned out. I'm calling it Night of the Villains. We're doing General Thrag. Maybe the first American toy to have blood on it. And we're also doing the Rat King. And I think both of their colors will show up they'll pop with the cardboard. So we're going to be doing some of that, okay? So coming up, production-wise, tonight I would like to tackle, we got the Wildcat Anthology. Dark Hero is coming. And I have a character sheet ready to go for Dark Hero. But, listen, we can split that. Split that again. I'm getting so handy with the swaps. But here we go. What's Jake Boy saying? Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, as long as I got the right Jake. Yeah, so a lot of when you work with tone paper, you want to kind of create things for it. Like you want to utilize the paper, utilize the tools that adapt to the paper very well. And a lot of times that doesn't work, that fails. So knowing paper, knowing your tools, knowing your materials, all right, this is craftsmanship. This is the second part that takes a lot of time when it comes to learning how to draw. And, that's a part of the sketchbook challenges. I'm continuously tested on what my methods are. And it's a great way to push you right through that wall. It's hard to do that on your own. Sketchbook challenges is the absolute way to get the reps in for drawing and to get the reps in for materials. So it works both ways. It works with mind-muscle connection and craftsmanship. So, but Jake, thank you for noticing, dude. And cheers to you, dude. I just love everything you do on Twitter. I always look forward to your Twitters. So let's just do some quick sketch work. So real quick too, did you guys want to see a little bit of the process? So Dark Hero is we're really knee deep in just figuring out exactly what you need to know for the Dark Hero beginning, the origin before the real story. And we were always at that impasse because originally Dark Hero was a contract-driven work. And, Chris Dix, the original guy or something, I don't know what you call him at this point, he abandoned the project. He had a mental breakdown. I call him Fake Writer, too. Fake Writer Chris Dix. That's what we call him around here, around this rodeo. Fake Writer Chris Dix, we were at this impasse where I wanted to do more with the prologue, and there was almost like a sprint to go live with the signups because the project was getting really good signups, and I wanted to kind of we were a little bit of a wrestling match, but the work we have now is ready to go live. So there's 12 to 15 pages ready to go for Dark Hero. Trial by Fire is on a little bit of a hold still. But we had to figure out the information the audience needed to understand the origin of Dark Hero. Okay. And I don't mean the character. I just mean it's almost like this is how we introduce everyone to the environment of Dark Hero. Because when it comes to this type of, like, we'll call him like Superman or super character riff, there's so much about it that we're taking off the table that I haven't seen in other like pieces of fiction and other attempts. The Boys, Mr. Majestic, Squadron Supreme, Mr. Miracle, it goes on and on. But all of those interpretations, even like they all kind of intersect in certain areas, but they also take away a lot to tell their story and to get you through the plot. So, but these are the things you have to understand. You have to absorb a lot of that material while you're creating, and it is a back and forth. Okay, you do have to research as you create sometimes, but like this is almost like where we needed to be for Dark Hero. Like it's just these 5 pages, and like you can see, I just like I call them villains celebration because like that's the intent of the page. Yeah, I mean, look, it's there. I'm very happy with this, but we got like people ready to go on Dark Hero, so I need to do like the boring work, like character design shit. Like Jesus Christ, like I little bit of honesty. If people ask me for like a character sheet, my first instinct is like, can you not do like what you really need to draw? Because I've drawn even independent characters from memory because I'm not concerned with getting it accurate. I'm concerned with high energy and making it cool. I always feel like it's a little bit of a cop-out. But I do concede some people do like work that way. What we got here, Jake? What we got here, Jake? Yeah, no, no, Dark Hero. So let me float it out. So Dark Hero he's like this like alpha superhero. The project is called Dark Hero, and we're going to do a contest. I'm going to give away some artwork to who can rename the book as soon as enough of the prologue is in the open. Okay, so there's these things that Dark Hero needs out there before we can proceed. And I'm sorry, I know other people do campaigns one way, but I like to be able to immerse people into the ideas. This was a lot of the testing I did with Trial by Fire, where I don't think Trial by Fire sold so well because I didn't do a good enough job putting the ideas out there. So Dark Hero is another further experiment to round that out because I'm relatively a one-person show. Keep that in mind. So things are going to slow down from time to time. Yeah, yeah, so to me, like let me see if I can like dissect that a little bit, Jake. So my layouts have 2 intentions, okay? When I'm working this way, which is I'm problem solving, okay? There's problems and I need to solve them. I mean, I know I'm kind of being repetitive there, but for example, okay, like let's just take this one over here, okay? So this page here solves a little bit of like almost like a rise of villains, okay? Because I had to explain exactly where the villains were coming from in like the Dark Hero universe, because we kind of have this revelation here of like a collage page of all your villains, and you have your Lex Luthor guy, you have your Doomsday guy, but I had to kind of like explain this. This needs to be explained. So you do two things, okay? Sometimes you get like imagery that like like hits a certain point, and sometimes that's just like your instincts. Like you're just like your brain's going a mile a minute, mile a second. But then everything around here, like these are just the captions that I think will explain enough about the villains for us to get the idea. Problem solved. So a lot of times with my layouts, like I'll have something very clear, and it might be more graphical. Okay, like there's more of a graphic design element, and then I'll start here and I'll be like, all right, like I want him like in front of the sun, I want his face like this, but then like I want the earth exploding. Just want the earth on fucking fire. Let's make it symmetrical. And then it's almost like, all right, like we have to explain some of what we're seeing. So that's the back and forth. Okay. Whoa, hold up here. People, we got a celebrity in the house. We got the 8th mark in my phone. At one time, the first mark in my phone. Good Idea Comics is in the house. Yeah, TBF is coming along. Mark, if you want to be a little bit a part of helping me round out that story, like full credit, I'll be able to, like, if you want to exchange work. The Energy Man is still going to premiere in Dark Hero. I was expecting this week to be the return of Dark Hero, the return of Trial by Fire. I'm sorry. I mean Trial by Fire. But that's still like on the table. Okay. I'm like right there on just realigning everything we need for Trial by Fire. One of it is a healthy stack of layouts just like this that fully tells, and we're dealing with 3 giant chapters of content. So Mark, if you want to do this, like let's get back to communicating. We'll figure this out. Energy Man and I think 9 other characters outside of Trial by Fire are premiering in Trial by Fire 1. We got some great pinups. We got like a lot of the contributions are already set for Trial by Fire. The possible holdup is color versus black and white. I advertised color, but I really like the black and white artwork for Trial by Fire. So really, like we just got a couple production problems. So getting back to my layouts. So when I'm dealing with, like for example, like right here, this is my Wildcat Anthology story. We also have a Gator story here, but we're gonna put that away. So this here, like I had a little bit more clear of an idea of what the flow of this story was going to be, and you can kind of see I'm nailing the blocking. I'm getting the dialogue down. I'm getting some of the expressions down, and it's a little bit more loose. Okay. Like, again, like visuals, like these, like hit this, this goes into the center, like hit that. And sometimes it goes forwards and backwards. Like you lay it out, you get your dialogue, you have everything down, you lay it out, your imagery, and sometimes the two aren't congruent, they're not in sync. That's your job as a professional at that point, is to make everything within the panel make sense going into the next panel to panel, page to page. People who complain about doing layouts, it's hard for me to believe that they're really committed to storytelling. Like really, if you're working with a writer and you're not giving your writer layouts for approval, I don't know. I really don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I know. LOL. Good. But Mark, I'm so happy to see you in here, dude. Sounds awesome. Yeah, we will get going. And Mark, congrats on the move. I know you, right? You packed it up. Got a new place. Yeah, kind of like, so like, yeah. So when I'll do when I hit the page for this, like I'll put the borders in. but I'm always just interested in, like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we fucking doing? And look, I honestly, guy, I don't ever want to come off as like high and mighty or like on a high horse at all. Okay. But there's so much of these independent comics, so much of these small time comics, and they have fantastic covers, really good trade dress. Like trade dress in comics has really it's grown leaps. Like they all used to be garbage, but the covers and the look of the book, they're fantastic. You know, like these publishers, they know how to package the cover. And now, like, you know, we see that in crowdfunding. But there's not enough of a commitment to the page, to the story, to exactly what's happening. I think there's a very small top layer. If I could get like an inker to collaborate with to speed me up, I 100% would. If I could get, you know, like a little bit of a squad together. But a lot of these ideas and standards, I think people, it's almost like they want to go from here to the colored page, and they think getting, like, the quicker they get to the colored page, the better the book's going to look. I don't care. Like, I'd rather focus on storytelling and good stories and having like a somewhat of a composite, that there's like a universe, okay, that things are happening between the gutters here, between the panels, that there's things happening. I don't know if I see a lot of that. I really don't. I see commitment to, you know, like artwork that's just books, not even artwork. It's just the book's not quite there. And I don't want to call anyone out, nor would I. I would never call anyone out with that, because you don't know, like, how things end up the way that they end up. I make this point a lot when I talk about movies on my podcast. But when it comes to me, like, those are my baselines. So, but like, just to give you a little bit of an idea. So, like, so a lot of those layouts, they kind of go into this type of stage. Okay. So I don't blow them up. I just redraw them. Okay. And yeah, I break down the forms further. So when I tackle the inks, okay, like I have my forms down. And I may have some idea of like where the lighting is like where the light's moving and those other elements. No, yeah, no. Come on, man. I don't die. I multiply. But here we go. Hold up here. So let's do this. We can do. Let me just demonstrate a quick exercise. Let me just get this. Where's that? Okay. Layout right here. So I was working from a full script with this. So I sent this to the writer right away. Okay. It was like 5 alarm fire. I said, look, here's your dialogue. Okay. Your dialogue's going to go vertical. And it's like the point of this page is to get these guys out of the chopper and just establish 2 more characters at the lower right here. That's the point of this page. And I said, look, you're going to have to rework some of your word balloons here. Okay, because look, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters in a small space. But I'm like, look, we want space between everything. We got 7. But we want space between everything. And we want the word balloons to be able to be read easily. So that's a little bit of the essence. Okay? Like, this is a little bit of the essence of comic book problem solving. So you go from there and we hit the layout. So when we hit the layout, you know, like, I'm almost again fighting and rethinking this sequence here right here. Okay, we're still trying to solve this problem. There's still a little bit of like back and forth. I'm checking in with him. He's using this to pre-letter everything. So he's like dropping it in. And then once I have this going at a good enough stage, I said, look, this is where we are. This is where our space, like I'm giving us a little bit of extra room here. We're establishing that they're going into the tent. We're making that point that they're going into a tent. And sometimes as an artist, that's up to you to decide. Okay. You have to pull back the camera. You have to be willing to let the story almost like tell itself. Again, instincts. So you just have to think about it. You have to do a lot of layouts. You have to sometimes fight with the writer. Sometimes you don't get that, okay, but sometimes you do. And we're in the visual medium, and I don't know, I think we're all also in an age where the artist doesn't fight for their work. They fucking don't. I mean, I don't know what these guys are doing anymore. What we got? Yes. yeah. This is a reference to the move, everyone, for anyone keeping track. Yeah, but a lot of times I just want to get the ideas, like the ideas have to get out of my head. And the reason why they get out, I get anxious. It's because now I can work with them. I can, like, they're gone. This one's in, and I look at it very aggressively. I get anxious. I get a little bit angry sometimes when I'm working on things because I want it. It needs to hit, and I'd rather have a page hit storytelling wise than anything. Okay, to me, it's all within that page. So getting it out is just essential. It really is, and it's fun, but it's essential. Get to the chopper. Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes there's no script, Jake. Okay? Sometimes there's no script. Sometimes I have like a little bit of an impression, and I'll write and lay out as I go along because it's almost like this. It's like let's say we have a page, like you and I, like we sit down, right? And we're like, fuck it, man, we'll do it right here. Okay? Well, maybe not this one. What else do I have? Hold up. Let me get more Red Bull. Okay. Let's just say we have the snail guy. And you're like, Pete, we need something to sell Mr. Snail. And I'm like, all right, Jake, what do you have in mind? And you're like, look, he's a snail. He needs to, like, we're going to put him in the forest, but he needs to look cool. And I was thinking maybe he's like busting out of the ground. He's like shooting up from the ground. But that visual, if we pencil it, ink it, and color it right now, we can use it for our promo. Like, we can promote the book with this image of Mr. Snail, our snail superhero, busting up from the ground. And I said, all right, Jake, like, let's do it. Like, let's just split this in two. Okay. And we're going to just, like, we're going to get him going. Okay. But I'm going to draw him in a little bit more of a superhero pose. Okay. So he's just going to be like this. Okay. And I'm hoping we can see that. Okay. Right. That looks light, but I'm also dealing with like shades, and I'm looking at like a second screen here. But Yeah, but we got our snail dude. And right here, right? Like, it's not going to take long to get this guy going. And, you know, like, there'll be, like, debris and, like, cool chunks busting all around, okay? Give him some good lats. Now, keep in mind, we don't have a design for this guy yet or anything, but the ground's just, like, bursting up around him. Yeah, and maybe, like, a little bit of a crater effect. Okay? Like, something like that. Okay? But here we go. Let's explain what the hell's happening. How did he get into the ground? Like, real-time exercise here. We got some writers in the room. How does Mr. Snail end up into the ground that he's busting out? We're going to need, look, we're going to need one establishing shot, okay? So maybe we got one establishing. Fuck this. Hold up, guys. Let's remove me, okay? We're going to need one establishing shot right here. Let's get this up. So, establishing shot. It's going to be, it's going to have to be a forest or something, right? Put some mountains in there. Okay, we got like a couple more panels here. Yeah, out of the ground is always basic action move. But yeah, so we have this. We have our boy busting out. Now we have our establishing shot. Okay. Like forest. Like we'll call it a silhouette. But then right here, like, let's kind of do this other shot of, like, we can do two characters. Maybe, like, walking away. Like, one guy has, like, a shovel thrown over his back. Like, like, big henchmen and, like, little henchmen. And they're, like, running some dialogue about just burying the snail. And then here, we can kind of do a little bit of an animatic. We can kind of show off that it's sun, and it kind of goes to the moon here. And then we can do a little bit of an anchor here, like an eyeball of the snail, like almost like waking up underground. So now we have, like, we know who buried them. We kind of have an interesting comic book way of showing the passing of time. The snail's going to wake up and he's going to burst out ready to go. All right, like this, I think this type of deconstruction within the story, because I get people send me a lot of scripts. People always try and pitch me to work on their book. And, like, look, I do a lot of back and forth. And look, people have sent me, I ask people for a bibliography. They send me unpublished samples, like stuff like that. Okay. Like, I'd like to see a writer's ability to know how to work with an artist and to, like, further kind of develop a story. Because I don't think things exist only within the written page. I think when you pull in a writer, when you pull in an artist as a writer, like, you're surrendering some of that story. You're giving up some of that story, and that story is as good as that artist at that point. I don't think a good writer can compensate over bad artwork. There's very few examples of that ever in comic book history. I really don't see it. It's art with a like excuse to draw. That's the writer. Give me a excuse to draw, and that's it. A little bit of that. Yeah, I mean, look, that's a part of it too. Like, hey, sometimes it's one page. Fuck it. it's got to be 6, like it's got to be 6 panels. Go fuck yourself. Like, like that's the type of combativeness. That's the type of fight that's worth making a good comic book about, because we're not just making a comic book. We're trying to make a good comic book. And I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm just a little bit sick of people pretending like they're maybe making good comics. And I know I'm on the hook for TBF, and I know I'm on the hook for Uzi Susie. But I do put my money where my mouth is. And then the other aspect of all of this is on akapad.com, everything of mine's getting built out there first. So when I run a campaign, everything's going to be congruently available through akapad.com. Okay? So the campaign pages for that will be bigger and more detailed. There'll be more regular updates or equal updates. But that is a destination, and that is a backup to any like crowdfunding falling through or any of that stuff. And I just felt like that was critical. So it took this past year, I put as much time into my website as I have into just about everything else. A lot of hours. Comic books, good collaborative medium. So yeah, crap on the side and will affect it. Yeah, I mean, I look. I think, I don't know, like there's always a problem when it comes to writer and artist, and this is not said enough. Okay, the writer can write a page in less than an hour, let's just say, and that might take 42 hours for the artist to realize. 1 hour versus 42. That's not a fair exchange. It's not a fair exchange in energy and ideas. Now, if you're Alan Moore, okay, but we're not Alan Moore. We're not Todd McFarlane sitting here. We're not Jim Lee. We're Peter A. DeLuca, a.k.a. Pad, at my new writer's room right here. Yeah, I believe in that. Look, I used to run myself so ragged, and I've gotten a lot better with like picking a day or like a segment of a day to just narrowly focus on particular things. And I think I get more done that way. But we have to draw. I don't even know what this girl's name is, character-wise. I'm kind of calling her Starbright, but she's our Wonder Woman, and she wields a rainbow sword. And I think some people wanted to draw her, so we need to get her going. Yeah, and look, keep in mind too, part of the challenge of resurrecting Dark Hero and kind of developing a method for what my actions were going to be, like a little bit of an internal philosophy, is there's a challenge in rewriting everything about Dark Hero at this point. Okay, because I don't want Fate writer Chris Dix who's also working on a science fiction book that number one, he will never finish, and number two, I'm sure we've all can compare a lot of other things to, I'll say, meaning it won't be very original. A Guy Lost in Space, right? Must read. But yeah, so part of the challenge of Dark Hero 2 is getting it, in my eyes, legal. Yeah, because I think when that project kind of froze, yeah, it was not, in my eyes, it was not illegal, and he didn't do the work with me to completely hand it over, even though he thinks he did. So whatever. Whatever. Let's get my mug out of here. Let's just focus on some drawing. But really too, I'm always grateful for all of you for just hanging out with me. We can take off the sunglasses. All right, we can do that. I just gotta get some of this going. I gotta get this out of my head at this point. But yeah, so akapad.com will have like a full write-up of like everything Dark Hero. So, but it's almost like, because I have impressions of what I really think is like the interesting story parts of Dark Hero. I think I have the positioning and kind of like some of these bigger ideas on what Dark Hero kind of represents, like in the context of the story. That's just not looking good right there. Yeah, I believe, look, that's an Alan Moore technique. Okay, look, keep in mind when you hear me give advice and give my opinion, people, I'm a obsessive reader. Look, you guys can I just do this real quick? Look, right here. Where are we at? See that? This is just one of my bookshelves, okay? And look, see, it goes all the way up, goes all the way down, okay? That's right here though. This is also this is some of my like bibliography area. These are all t-shirts I designed and stuff like that. Like this is, I call this my archives area. But no, people, I read endlessly. I read a lot. I read obsessively. I'm in a field where I compete with certifications. I compete with college degrees. I got into the habit of reading and learning things rapidly. And a lot of these things you hear from me, I'm just repeating. I'm just repeating things, okay? And some of these things, like I read, I practiced, and now I'm transferring it to you. So the point I'm getting at is Alan Moore, is notorious for doing layouts as he writes, because you have to know what happens within the panel. You really do. You have to know what happens from panel to panel when you're writing comics. Just when it comes space-wise. Like, I think as a writer working on comics, you should know how many characters fill up a certain type of word balloon. Like in your brain, you should just be able to like it's almost like Ames guide. Like you should know how many letters, how many characters fit in here. Boom. I don't. That's a tough concept for a lot of people to grip. But I do believe if you can make a comic book that is visual first, and then if you have a writer that kind of comes along, I think that at that point the writer can come along at any time, and he kind of just understands what what the project is, what has to understands the assignment, so to speak. I think you are like a lucky person, because those types of collaborations are so freaking rare. And to get two people who are a little bit zero ego type of partnerships. You're not going to get rich. You're not going to make money. You're not going to create the next Turtles or Cyber Frog or even Creed. You're not going to do it. But your job should be to create the best book you can at that time. And that's it. That's your only objective. Just tell the best story you can. And, you kind of trust the rest of the process at that point. And some people want to think that they're in control of it. And it's like, you're not. Because I would say there's been more great comics that are completely forgotten. That sold 1,000 copies. That sold 5,000, 20,000. And why are they forgotten? But they're great. And that's, that's your fighting chance when it comes to building a legacy. Your goal should always be to leave impressions. Because one day, someone could dig it up. But you have to keep creating. You have to keep going. And that's it. And Mark right here that is in this room. This Good Idea Comics is the Mark's whole life, Mark's whole career. Everything he does is that idea. It's the idea of developing it, loving it, raising a family, having a job, paying a mortgage, but you keep creating, you keep chipping at that oak, and eventually, you'll have work out there. And it's better to have work out there than have nothing out there. Okay? And I think there's a value to that. There's a real value. Yeah. There you go, Jake. Yes. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, so let's all get paid to hang out with me, right? There you go. But yeah. So, but real quick. So, Josh, feel free, dude, hit me up. Let me know if you have. Look. I'll show you, Josh. Okay. This is not my. This is not mine. This is an AKA Patter. This is a member of the AKA Pad Army. He sent me a script. We did a couple meetings, okay, via just like this. And we developed the story. Okay? We developed the story. And look at these layouts. I mean, this story is ready to go. This is how it started. This was during a live meeting. Okay, and I'm scribbling, and I'm just laying it out, trying to explain, asking questions. Look, here we have I had these ideas for colored panels at one point, and then I sat down and broke this, deconstructed this, and I'm all right, here we go. We need this type of establishing shot. We need these happening in these panels to set up the next page. And that's the process. But don't think along the way that the writer's off the hook. Because if the writer has this much room for dialogue, your job is to make that work. And that's it. Make it work, or keep trying. But an artist says the same thing too. So it's just stuff like that, and I don't know, I love the layout phase. I like the challenges. I welcome what the solutions could be. And it sounds weird, but I really like throwing out ideas. Because the more ideas you throw out, the closer you get to the perfect idea. And that's what you want. Now, that doesn't mean the whole book's going to be perfect and you're going to become a millionaire. But it means at that page, in that panel, at that moment, you have a perfect solution. And there's nothing anyone can say. There's no criticism. There's no angle. But right there. Now, to do that consistently throughout a story, okay, like we're talking a couple different things here. We're talking intent. We're talking what we're really trying to do with the book as a series. Meaning an issue 1, even a part of a miniseries, an issue 1 has a different intent as an issue 6, as an issue 5, an issue 2. So those are some of the things the writer should be aware of when, and a lot of that would be audience norms, audience expectations, tropes. I'm really big on using tropes, by the way. I know a lot of writers hate tropes. I don't know why. I think tropes are built-in education for the audience. For my podcast, we do one horror movie a day for all of October, and I've become like a little bit of a horror movie expert because I've done that for 5 years now. So I've done like well over 100 horror movies, and you see a lot of tropes in horror, but you see them for a reason. They're built-in solutions to get you to a better spot. A spot that may not exist otherwise. And you don't have to waste exposition explaining things if you're going to use a trope. There's all these great reasons. I love tropes. Give me more tropes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're getting back over here. Let's do a little bit more White Claw. But yeah, and look, I used to like not want to draw certain things. I used to not be able to. And like now, because I've been so tenacious with it, there's just, like I welcome the challenge of new ideas. I welcome the challenge of new thoughts, like a new thought that goes into a comic. Like maybe something that's, that hasn't been represented a lot or seen a lot. Like I like that stuff. And so much of that is what Dark Hero is all about. So much of that is what Trial by Fire is all about. Uzi Susie. Even though, like a lot of it too, like they're stories that are built upon tropes. But I don't know. You gotta embrace tropes. Well, anyway, who's excited for the Elementals? Who's ready for that movie? Wouldn't it be awesome if the Elementals just ended with like the camera like pulls back from like someone drawing and it pulls out of a room, through a window, house, neighborhood, city, continent, clouds, space, and it's like Jack Kirby's house. That's how the Elementals should end. I will wrap that movie up. So this was supposed to be a quick drawing here, and we're just kind of just adding a lot more shapes and a lot more detail. So I already did like another drawing of her based on almost like an old design. And I kind of know she, like we did give her. I say we, but it was like really me. But I gave her. Definitely gave her like a skirt. Because we are emulating Wonder Woman here. Oh, you know what though? One of the best Wonder Woman riffs is Glory from Extreme Studios, the Rob Liefeld company back in the 90s. Glory, right? Joe Duffy wrote Glory. Solid run. People kind of want to shit on the 90s, but Glory from Rob Liefeld and co. was better than Wonder Woman at the time than at DC. No, I think John Byrne, was working on Wonder Woman at that time. And that's not his best work. Oh, here we go. Oh, J Mac in the house. Welcome to the 400th live stream. Cheers. We're still killing some of these ruby grapefruits. But yeah, what we got? Mark, what do we got over here? Yeah, like so am I. More curious and excited about the elementals. But like why I just don't understand how you don't like the elementals is like that is your Jack Kirby movie, right? Like this is your moment. And isn't it funny how like Thor Ragnarok kind of has more Kirby in it than the elementals looks like? It's like the fuck is that? Thor Ragnarok looks more like a Kirby movie than elementals. I can keep saying it. It's not going to make it any better. So she needs like a little bit of a like sword holster because her, I don't know, like her sword is like a rainbow freaking sword. I don't know why I went with that. I just I just like look, sometimes you're like if it fits, it sits. And sometimes when you're just by yourself at the drawing table, you're like, a rainbow sword will look fucking cool. And we will go with it. But Mark, what's the update on some of your stuff, dude? You gotta give me the deets. What's happening? What are you working on? What happened with Venus? Did Venus that was your crowdfunder. But that shipped, right? Venus shipped. Give me some of the deets, Mark. But yeah, so here we go. All right. This is Wonder Woman ripoff designing 101. But we need this, and I'm pretty sure we're going to call this character Starbright. And I guess I will play on the spelling for that, right? Because we got to be able to copyright and trademark things. And I do like the idea that she has somewhat of a like metallic segmented, almost like ribbed. We'll call it ribbed leggings that kind of go into her heels. And then I really, based on the other drawing, I know she had a cape. But it's like, like I don't want her to have a cape. Capes just suck. But maybe we'll just give her like a almost like a tunic. We'll call, right? Tunic? Like a partial cape. That's like this. See? Tunic. Alexa, what's a tunic?
The noun, tunic, can have a few meanings.
Oh, Jesus
One,
Christ.
a coat worn as part of a military or other uniform.
Yes.
2, A gown like outer garment, with or without sleeves and sometimes belted, worn by the ancient Greeks and Romans.
Yep.
3.
That's it.
A
Alexa,
woman's
stop.
upper garment.
Yeah, we got it. It's a tunic. Fucking Alexa. Alexa's the worst. If you don't have patience and you're just looking for a reason to kill yourself, just get yourself a Alexa device and just start talking to it. But here we go. Okay. So we'll give her like a little bit of this Greek atmosphere. Her hair will have a ton of curls. Yeah, well, she'll definitely be like warrior-ish. But I think that's good enough. See, this is good enough for a character shot for people to adapt. What we got? What we got? Mark, we got an update? Energy Man crowdfunding for 2022. Very cool. Yeah, so keep in mind, we will I'm making a big push to get like I would say like a trial by fire first draft print. Like a printed black and white with probably some color, but full dialogue, full captions with Energy Man in there. So because we do want TBF to be the first appearance of Energy Man. And I kind of had ideas for that character, Mark. I knew you had someone working on it, but wherever you need to imagery, like covers or whatever, to get that project going, like let me know, okay? Took a year off, man. Look, take a year off and invest in Bitcoin. Oh, okay, nice. A German writer artist. You working for the Kurds or the not the Kurds, the what's the slang for Germans that begins with a Krauts? You're working with the Krauts. But here we go. All right, so we're just rock and rolling. And then here we essentially do like a couple headshots, head rotations, because we want to kind of show off what her headpiece is. So we'll do this. Now, when it comes to secret identities and these things for this story, I really kind of want to say it's a non-secret identity superhero universe. I'm a little bit 50-50 on that. And I think it's rightfully so, because secret identities today, I don't think they fit very well within the landscape. And there's not a lot of good modern day solutions and examples of those problems when it comes to the story parts. I mean, the Marvel Cinematic Universe just eliminated secret identities outside of Spider-Man. Well, not really, because he's outed at the end of Homecoming or Far From Home or Home Lost. They got the subtitles for the Spider-Man movies. Why do people pretend they like that? like you know what it is? It's like they made fun of Let There Be Carnage. For somehow Let There Be Carnage is lazy and crappy, but Spider-Man just having the word home in his title is genius. Stupid double standard. I don't think you can kind of you either like both or you hate both. That's it. No middle ground. So we're just again, just trying to work out the forms of this character. Okay. And it's really with the intent of handing it off to other creators. Lettering. Yeah, European flavor. We all love that European flavor. Lettering. Oh, cool. Coming to Indiegogo. Mark, let me just keep me updated with a lot of that stuff, because we'll do videos, like we'll do live stream promos and things like that, because I know you may not be 1,000% savvy with some of it, and well, I can help you, so let that happen. Yeah, I mean, it really is like, it's a storytelling issue, right? Do secret identities even have a place in modern superhero storytelling? You kind of want to say they do not. I could be wrong. Yeah, a lot of this too is me just figuring out a little bit of these characters myself. Like here, right, like her headpiece from a 3/4 angle doesn't seem fucking easy to figure out. It's like, just draw it in one angle, like draw it from one position. That's it. But I do feel like people just put too much time into their character drawings. It's like, the hell with it. Why just draw the comic? Who cares about if the character design is accurate? Like, that's not going to make your comic any better if it sucks. Like, sorry. Like, could you imagine just paying for that? Like, instead of paying an artist to draw pages, you pay an artist to do character shots? I would fucking kill myself. She needs star earrings, though. See, and this position here, like this angle, is not friendly. But no, but like, a part of doing a homage, doing a little bit of a riff on characters like Wonder Woman and like the Trinity, right? The Dark Knight, the Man of Steel, the Amazonian. A part of the appeal for that is, like, you getting back into talking about tropes, that you play into tropes. And because people are familiar with the tropes of a certain character, you can kind of tell a very compelling story. Like the Boys completely relies on, I'm talking about the show, not so much the comic. The comic is not readable to me. I don't know if that's blasphemous to even say. The comic is just low-hanging fruit dribble. But the show relies on like all the Aquaman tropes with the that deep character, because they don't really, like, you don't know a lot about him, but you know exactly who he is. You know what his powers are. So like some of these inside jokes, and they use those tropes of one character to create almost like comedy for another. And I guess that you can say the Tick is very effective with that too. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I really think, when, like, getting back to secret identities, I just think it's like, sorry, I'm not always looking at the screen all the time too. And I know I should be. yeah, I just like you almost want to say that the audience just doesn't want it. And that's like, it's almost like have that idea until, or like believe that until someone does something to where they bring back secret identities, right? I mean, like secret identities are relatively gone until someone brings them back. And that's like, it's that simple. So, okay. So we got like a little bit, I mean, I'm a little bit happy here with just what we're doing with her now. Yeah. Like in character design at this stage, it's not meant to be perfect. Yeah, but like, so here's a little bit of that. Like do tropes work against that now? Meaning that, like, let's say you had a character like Super, right? You got Superman. I mean, he's so powerful, he can protect everyone all the time. He can protect all of his loved ones, and doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter because he can be everywhere at once almost, right? And I would say like characters like the Dark Knight have enough money to protect their loved ones. So what are the, I think that gets into a little bit of like the meat of it, right? Like now what do we do with secret identities? Because the audience understands these things already. Like they already know Wonder Woman is an Amazon, and they know that she has these powers. And then I think a lot of it too is just modern culture, because like Wonder Woman's not going anywhere. She's going to be more popular, more well known, and that's it. And I just think like maybe like Daredevil did it pretty cool. But like, does the Punisher doesn't need a secret identity? But mostly, I guess maybe like what could we consider the Punisher being like the 0.0? I know a lot of people point to the Civil War comic, but Punisher within the comic, it was meaningless for him because everyone knew he was Frank Castle at one point. And I'm kind of going before they killed him with Volume 2. And then Volume 3, he came back as a angel from heaven. Who remembers Punisher Volume 3? But yeah, and I think these are the higher questions. And we should embrace telling those stories that explain that stuff when it just when it comes to superhero storytelling. Okay, like we should want to almost like preserve some of it. And for Dark Hero, I mean, I thought about that stuff hard, and I think modern day storytelling, the best use of modern day secret identities might be Astro City. Don't quote me on that. Dude, I am just noodling the fuck out of this. And I wanted this to be a quickie. Yeah, right. Look. We gotta say, Punisher Volume 3 had what? Pat Lee drawing it. Marvel Knights, Wolverine. There was a Wolverine was in that book. There was who Bernie Wrightson did the some of the design work. Joe Jusko with the covers. I think there was a there was a general excitement to see what that book was going to turn out like. And think about it. If Volume 3 landed, like let's just say they figured out this thing. Again, solving problems. The Frank Castle Punisher might never come back. Like we might never had the Marvel Knights run of the Punisher. Or the Marvel Max. The original mini was drawn by Wrightson. Oh, it was. It had Pat Lee covers, right? Pat Lee covers, Wrightson interiors. Oh, jeez. That's a mismatch. Jeez, that's a little bit that's a little odd. I forgot about that. And I do remember it not being Wrightson's like that really that's not his any landmark type work, which sucks. Because Wrightson like I think Wrightson's he got to a point where he was hit or miss. I don't think there was a lot of energy or passion with some of the work from that time. Look at this. Is this done? That's done. Another one bites the dust. Well, either way, I know I wanted to work on a couple other things. I am pleased. I am happy with a little bit of what we have going on here. And then, we would always just kind of go right to the ink at this stage. Figure more of it out as we go along. Cheers, by the way. I'm not even sure what I am inking here because I don't have any like some of these details well defined. Yeah, we're not doing full inking here. We're just really just getting the impression for other people to use this. Well, here we go. All right, I think we will be. Wow, we're already at 90 minutes. Because now I'm almost like locked in on this now. And I'm going to want to finish this ASAP. Just so I can even add it to akapad.com for whoever needs it for reference. But do we have, I mean, we got the ink wet. But we have this right here. We do have a page to jump on. Get back to the Wildcat page for CB, our boy CB. And even this here, a lot of this is prelim. Like, I'm not even settled on the style yet. I'm not settled on the story or like anything. I'm kind of looking at a lot of this as very liquid right now. Yeah. Mark, we'll get together, we'll talk, we'll break it all down. Let me get going too. I got not hitting the hay. We got work to continue. So hey, everyone though, thanks for hanging out. A lot of fun tonight. Love you all.